Welcome to Momivate Conversations on the Win-Win Women platform. We are so grateful for this platform and the behind the scenes friends making it all work smoothly so we women can gather to care, connect, and collaborate. Truly a win-win for us all. I'm your hostess, Regan Barnes, and I'm a mom of 8 and founder of Momivate. We are a nonprofit organization that empowers you to elevate your mothering experience. I'm so grateful to have you here as our special guest today. I will be covering the vision of Momivate and trying to share with you how we hope to revolutionize motherhood. We welcome you into our Momivate community, or Mom Unity, as we like to say. We are moms united in our passion to create a better world for our children, with our children, and through our children. Join us and become a Mom Unity member. It's free on our website, www.momivate.org. Momivate is a play on the word motivate. We just stuck an M in the middle to make it applicable to moms. When you join our Mom Unity, we'll send you a free digital copy of our Smile Journal, where you can keep track of what you learn from each of these conversations and set goals that will impact your personal achievement based on this educational program. Here at Momivate, we believe that every mom needs an EMT. Come to the rescue, right? Help us with these challenges of motherhood. Now, as you've noticed, a lot of Momivate enjoys the beauty of words and how we can apply those to our organization to make it a little more, not just fun, but memorable. When you have a thing like an acronym or EMT, for instance, it helps us remember what our goals are. So the E for EMT is for education. And that's what this conversation is designed to deliver. This is also key on our website. We use education as one of the main ways to categorize our website. So if you were to visit our website, and we likely will as part of this conversation, we will show you that E for education and how there's a couple of different ways we want to be educated. We want to know what we're doing as moms. We want parenting education that's strongly based on outcomes, based on scientific research about the brain, and also stands the test of time. So that is one of the ways that we think of education. And then there's the education that doesn't have anything to do with motherhood, but might be involving our skills and our talents and how we can gain good, solid education to possibly use in the workforce. And in that way, perhaps be able to be a little more self-reliant and fulfill some of our own passions and goals and dreams. So E is for education. And then we go on to M for money. Now, Momivate, ourselves, we're a nonprofit organization. We're not going to go and create ways necessarily that women can make a lot of money. At the same time, though, we think you can impact money based on the ways to save money. So we are really thinking outside the box. We're being innovative and coming up with monetary alternatives. One of our programs that has already started to take off a bit is called a revolving closet. And this is where moms will bring clothing that their children have outgrown and trade it out for clothing that fits that other moms brought. So it's a little bit like a trading post just right there in the home. And in a volunteer's home. In my case, I actually host a revolving closet. So if you're local to the Salt Lake Valley, I would love to see you there. We can help you if you, for whatever reason, don't have clothing to trade in. We do get donations from people who, for their own purposes, they don't take clothes. So in order to keep things a little balanced and not end up with overflow, we encourage women who, for again, whatever reason, aren't able to bring clothing to trade. And this has been a beautiful way to relieve some of the financial stress that can come when we as moms are focusing so much of our time on motherhood. We're not able to go out and earn a paycheck. And so we need to make sure needs are met in possibly non-monetary ways, such as the revolving closet. And we have lots of other ideas here at Momivate. We're a very forward-looking organization trying to solve problems and be innovative again. So the T in EMT is for time. Oh, moms, there's never enough time. Our programs, though, recognize that, and we have ideas again. In fact, one of the things that you'll get if and when you sign up to join our Momunity is called a Mom Pod packet. And this comes, it's 34 pages, so it's very comprehensive and gives all kinds of ideas about how you can give yourself more time as well as another mom. So a mom pod is designed around this concept of moms purposely structuring time to trade off being either the kid's mom, as we say, or the focused mom, meaning you get to focus on something other than the kids. We give lots of details in those 34 pages of how to make this work. Again, very structured and not the same as a play date, not the same as daycare, but with its own twist and really for that purpose of letting a mom have some time to herself and but at the same time trading it with another mom, and so that that mom can have some time to herself for whatever it is, maybe a part-time job or a hobby that you never get time for anymore. And you work that out together, and the packet has all kinds of great things to help moms get more time for themselves. But in a way, this also gets you more time with your children. And that is how we can be the greatest influence on our kids and teach them the things we want to teach them. But if we balance it out, we can and choose wisely who's in our mom pod. We can make sure that it's the influences we care about and that we value. So right now, most of what Momivate offers is online, but sometimes we have local events too. In fact, I'm kind of choosing a fashion outfit here that will invite you to our International Women's Day event. This is coming up on March 8th and it's free. You can find details about that on our website, www.momivate.org. But check out our website there and you'll find it, the event tab. It's called events and it's just one of the tabs right across the top. And there you can get those free tickets, invite your friends, come have a girls' night out. We'll be doing all kinds of fun things there, including giving out awards. And we'll have Ms. Utah, USOA Ms. Utah. Her name is Trina Kenyon, and she's one of our team members. And she's going to give a motivational speech. We're going to do this really fun networking activity designed around a goose chase app scavenger hunt, where we'll get to meet one another and learn more about one another. And we're gonna have little finger foods and it'll just be a lot of fun. So again, if you're local here, please join us. And as far as the people who are watching this as a recording, mark your calendars for next March 8th, because this will be one of our recurring programs, is to celebrate International Women's Day. And just look for those details in our emails as that date grows closer. Here at Momivate, we are well aware that people sometimes wonder, what do moms do anyways? It's kind of an interesting thing, because just 70, 80 years ago, that never would have been a question. But now a lot has been lost. Motherhood has almost become obsolete. And Momivate is here to recharge that and explain that moms are actually very necessary, and it's a DNA thing, it's biological, it's built into the system, and our kids are definitely going to improve and progress best under the guidance of a loving mother. But we also don't want motherhood to just be a bunch of household chores, or just kind of sitting around watching the kids, making sure they don't drink poison or drown or something, you know. We want to understand the depth of what we do. We want to see how it's multidimensional and how our talents and skills can be given as a gift to our children to benefit their lives and to enrich their lives as well as our own. So we have, over the last probably 15 years, been gathering this information. What is it that moms do? And we have come up with this very uplifting answer. Moms raise up society. So not just our own kids, but all of society is impacted, including ourselves, by the work that we do as mothers. So you might guess this is an acronym. And so each of the letters in the Raise Up acronym represents one of the roles or goals that mothers might have that can make an impact in all of society when we are intentional about them. So this is also the background that I chose today, is the word raise. And so we'll be going through each of those letters to discuss what they're for, what words they stand for. And I think that you will be excited to see that motherhood is more than just load after load of laundry. The R is for relationships. And of course, there's a variety of relationships. We need to have a strong relationship with God, as He's the co-creator of our children. We need to have a good relationship with our husband, the father of our children, and if at all possible. And we're well aware that motherhood sometimes happens without that help. And so we want to be sensitive to that and still try to help you figure out good ways to have a good relationship with the father of the child, even if he's not your husband. And then we need good relationships with the grandparents of our children. We need a good relationship with other mothers. The relationship with our children in and of itself, it's amazing how important that relationship is, and how we need time to focus on that and to build that relationship and let our children have that time with us, just for that sake of good relationships. And then we can realize that will ultimately help us in the discipline department. Okay, so the A in RAISE is for atmosphere. And this is really a conscientious effort at homemaking. I don't always like the word homemaking. It sometimes has kind of a vintage sound to it, right? And yet, if we take it apart into those two pieces of home and making, then all of a sudden it gets a little bit exciting because home is where the heart is. And it's just incredibly vital and crucial that this home is made to be a place of refuge, a place where our children can sense our love for them and they can thrive in that love. So here at Momivate, we've decided to break it apart based on the five senses and being conscientious about those five senses. The atmosphere that we create can be based on what our children see inside our home, whether they see pictures on the wall that reflect our values or our love for them, our strength as a family. They might see clutter. That's a big thing at my house. And so trying to declutter along with them to make a more pleasant atmosphere. And then we've got the concept of hearing. What do my kids hear in my house? Do they hear complaining? Yes, yes, sometimes they do. Do they hear yelling? Now that one has gotten less over the years. I am making progress in the less yelling. Now, do they hear compliments? Do they hear me expressing love to their dad? So just being conscientious about what do we hear? What kind of music are we playing and that sort of thing. Then there is the sense of smell. And at our house for many years, I was always worried about the smell of dirty diapers. So I even became really creative there and figured out a way to put the trash can outside a window right near the diaper changing area. And I would just throw those diapers right out the window. My kids thought that was really funny. But what other things do they smell? I know that realtors, when they're getting ready to sell a house and it's like going to be an open house or somebody's going to come view it, they will purposely bake cookies in the oven of the house they're trying to sell. And that way, as people walk in, they'll be like, hey, there's such a pleasant smell here. I also know some moms sell Scentsy, which is like candles with odors in them, but pleasant aromas. So it is important. Smells do play a part in our homes, and being conscientious about it we can adjust things as necessary. Of course, there's other senses like touch. Now that's an interesting one. There's even a book out there that talks about good touch and bad touch. And I think that's a crucial aspect of realizing, are my kids getting hugged enough? And is there a chance that they are getting bad touches? Unfortunately, that can be a really difficult thing for a child to go through. And if we have set an atmosphere where they feel that they can tell us when something like that happens, then we can be there to navigate that terrain with them and give them hope that there is a healing that can come. Now, there's also the intangible sense that we need to pay attention to, kind of like the ambiance of our homes. I really appreciate of the various comments that I've heard about my household. And those comments sometimes come from my kids who aren't always tactful, that it's messy or that we don't vacuum often enough or whatever it is. That the trash sometimes goes a long time. And of course, I teach them to be the doers and not the complainers. And nonetheless, I do appreciate it when a visitor will say something like, your house just feels like home. And I feel like, okay, even if the floors aren't vacuumed, even if the trash isn't emptied as often as it could be, at least it feels like home. And so the other things do get done eventually. I kind of tease that we have revolving messes. You will see a mess when you come to our house, but it'll be different the next day. Okay, So we're going to move on to the I. You might not be able to see the I here behind me because my head is in the way. But that is it's green for a reason. It's because it's about money. I is for income and outgo. And this is a part that is kind of funny in these modern days that, we're grateful for this, really, that moms have the option of earning an income, because we're coming from centuries upon centuries that was just not an option. And we like the idea of having a career and earning a paycheck and getting that pat on the back from the world telling us we're doing a good job. At the same time, having that income can be very time consuming. And so at Momivate, we encourage you to see about partnering up possibly with your husband and getting that income through him for that time frame that you are intensive mothering and working with your children and giving them the majority of your time. Now, no matter who is bringing in the income, there is the second aspect, which is the outgo. And that can be a major way that we as moms who are receiving income through the father of our children, we can really impact our family's financial stability when it comes to the outgo. When we are deciding carefully how to spend that money, how to budget it out, how to kind of earn back what we aren't able to spend. That's something I've realized lately as I've been making more and more and more homemade meals, is it really makes a significant dent on the monetary aspects of life. So I'm excited to see things like that. And like I mentioned, the revolving closets can also help in that sense. Now, the S in our RAISE UP acronym is for schedules and systems. Oh my goodness. This is one of the major things, isn't it? Feels like a whole job in and of itself to manage the household. This can include things like chores and making sure we are giving those kids chores and making sure they're doing them and training them how to do them well, and possibly rewarding them with money. That's an aspect of the income and outgo too, is teaching our kids about money and preparing them for real life. So these kinds of schedules and systems might also include fun things like family traditions and making sure that those get repeated year after year. And of course, we can always include our husbands. It doesn't mean that all of this just falls on our own shoulders, but that we are kind of the caretakers. We're making sure that it does happen and being conscientious and deliberate about these things. Screen time, huge here in schedules and systems. We have got to get screen time under control. And this is really critical, even if it's educational screen time. And that's something I've been concerned about. The more and more that teachers and administrators are pushing the use of technology in schools, because there have been studies done that show that it's not nearly as effective as an actual real live person teaching our kids. It's not as effective. Plus, there is something that goes on inside our brains that has to do with the way the screens interact with our eyes and our brains. And it's been shown to contribute to anxiety. And that is definitely one of the big things that our kids are dealing with these days. So the next part is energy. And this includes things like what we eat, what kind of exercise we're getting, our sleep routines. That's always in need of improvement, isn't it? Now, these sound like physical things, eating and exercise and sleep. However, they are just intricately tied in with our mental health. And as we, as the moms, set up the routines provide the nourishing meals and help our children to develop active lifestyles, we actually will see huge benefits in terms of mental health if they are willing to go along with the advice and counsel that we can provide. And guess what? We benefit from that too, especially as we try to be good role models for our kids. And we say to ourselves, okay, I got to wake up on time because I'm teaching my kids to, or I got to go to bed on time because I'm teaching my kids to. And they're always watching our examples, choosing what we eat, choosing an active lifestyle. It's something that they pick up on, whether we want them to or not. Uh, Now, the U in our RAISE UP acronym is for unique circumstances, because the fact is that even though motherhood is universal, like it is the singular way that people come to live on this earth. And therefore, um, there's just a lot that moms do that's in common with each other. On the other hand, it is also entirely unique. And we're aware that every mom's journey is going to be her own, and that she might have a child with autism, or she might not. She might have become a mother through adoption. She might be a military mom. She might be involved in the LGBTQ community somehow, maybe herself or maybe her children. Now, this is something that we want to recognize and respect and honor about that journey. And if we can support each other through it, then all the better. So that's our goal with unique circumstances. And finally, we have personal pursuits. How exciting is this, that we get some time to discover what our own talents and skills are, what we want to personally pursue. And Momivate wants you to remember your pre-mom self and be able to introduce her to your now mom self and make that a beautiful reacquaintanceship and become friends and remember what you had about you as a person before it kind of became consumed by motherhood, and revive those beautiful things about you purposefully. And and that is our goal here with Momivate, is to help moms with the RAISE UP acronym. We even hope to include a form of certification, because if you can see all of these things as they are soft skills that any employer would love to have in their workplace. And so once a mom has developed these skills through motherhood, then she can take those and put them on a resume. And we want to advocate among employers so that they recognize what those are and will appreciate that a mother hasn't just been taking a break from the workplace, but she's been developing these crucial skills. Now, our mission is four-pronged based on these VATE words. Guess what? Momivate wants to activate the powerful force mothers are designed to be. We want to cultivate maternal instincts into competent maternal influence. And we want to innovate to meet modern day mothering needs and elevate the respect given to the role of motherhood. Now, as we have been hearing all of this information, I'm wondering if anything stuck out to you. And if so, I encourage you to write it down. Take a moment right now. Maybe you could use the digital smile journal or just a notebook and put those things into action, because one movement leads to another. So let's activate those gears and make that far-reaching impact. Oh my, this half hour has gone by so fast. It is time to end our recording and start our live interaction. If you've watched this as a recording, thank you. And be sure to join us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific time so you can participate also in this second half hour where we continue the conversation directly with you, unrecorded. We want to include you in the discussion. That's how Win-Win Women TV is unique. We care, we connect, we collaborate.